What's the big question? Our map, of course, there's 2 maps that are automatically banned in this best-of-1 series. Consulate and Cafe Dostoyevsky. Navi ended up playing on Cafe. Consulate was for Vitality, and there go the bans. Border, Bank are off the table. Coastline is out. Club, and we're going to play on Villa. A map that usually works well for Vitality.
We have not had it played this season for EU, and Navi didn't touch it last season. Vitality played it twice, once during each half, and it was, I believe, 7-4 for them both times. So it's a good map for Vitality, but that means they've shown some of their strats. Navi, on the other hand, for at least during Pro League, have shown nothing.
Yeah.
But it's a map everyone should know at this point.
Yeah, Villa, I mean, you're not really allowed to not understand the metagame and how it works on the map. Of course, excluding new operators that get added. But what do you guys think at home? 57% for Navi, 36% for Vitality. I think I'm all behind it. I would actually lean towards a draw in this game.
It's definitely a strong possibility, I suppose, but it depends on, I think it depends somewhat on the morale of Vitality, as well as whether or not some of the players have like a really bad day like we saw last time. If they all fire on all cylinders, yeah, I think it draws a strong possibility. All
right, so I guess we're going to be ready to go into game in just a bit, but right now we got a couple players waiting to enter our lobby, and we'll be ready to go. So we end up playing on Villa. This is a map that, as you said, Vitality was able to win in their 2 times they played it in the last season. They're a team that has decent pedigree on it. Navi haven't shown much on it. Now, sometimes you might look at this, and you mentioned this earlier on in the show, where you might be keeping some strategies on this for later. This is why you don't show it.
It's also a strong possibility that the bans just didn't go the way they wanted.
That's true.
That definitely happens to teams. They get caught off guard, but like I said, everyone should know Villa well at this point. It's just a question of how prepared they are. Now, you don't want to have any holes in your map pool, so you are going to have maps that are kind of your primary maps, and you're going to have some that you're just not as good at, but you still need to scrim those. You still need to prepare those, because if a ban doesn't go your way, sometimes you could end up, and there's a lot at stake.
This is what you're saying. You have to scrim those. It's very possible that this map hasn't played a lot in scrims for Navi, and they might have tested a few things here and there, but they're not showing them. They're not using them in professional play until they have to. As you said, they might have lost, quote-unquote, lost the ban phase. We know that there's only one team that never loses the ban phase. That's Team Secret.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they're here. They're trying to prove themselves as best as possible, because it's one thing to win, right? It's one thing to be a champion. That's already a great achievement. No one can take that away from you. 100% deserved, right?
Yeah.
But the more difficult part, something that Empire and G2 both have learned, is keeping that crown.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do, because expectations are much higher for you, and that's a lot of pressure to put on players, because if they have a bad day, all of a sudden they start questioning everything. And that really becomes a struggle. You're like, was that just a bad day, or am I suddenly a bad player now? It just becomes a mind game, and I think we saw that, for example, with MIBR, where they went from being really good to suddenly just dropping off. They got a mental coach. Suddenly, oh, okay, they were able to work the mental stuff out. So
honestly, Latin America, look, I don't. My wallet's in the jacket, but this is how you predict games for Latin America. Toss a coin, and that will actually give you a way higher chance of guessing which team wins which game.
It certainly seems so.
Than actually thinking about the strategies and analyzing how things work. And this is going to be the analyst section at Invitational probably for MIBR. It's like, well, let's see who wins this one. Heads or tails.
But I have a lot more confidence in them with the mental coach that their losses won't be taken as heavy. I hope that, if they struggle in a match, that they can come back from it. And not just be on a downhill slide like before. Navi, on the other hand, I think they're confident still, in defending it, even if they have some rocky road here ahead.
1 point, since we're still not ready. Navi already qualified for Invitational. Vitality isn't.
No.
So who knows what happens with our invited spot tonight. That's later on after the Force versus Empire game. We're going to reveal the invited team and do the draw for the group. So 2 massive things to go along the SI 2020 playlist that we have and all the announcements inside of the game. But there is a case for Navi holding on to something until SI.
And that could be why we're seeing Villa here as well. If they're wanting to save some stuff on some other maps, they might want to just try Villa and use this as a scrim in a way as well, to just see if their strats or some of their ideas are working. I know it's a bit more of a public scrim, but...
You mean, one more thing, actually, to push that point even further, if we don't want to go as far as Invitational, guess who Navi plays next week? G2.
Yeah.
And it might be, it is 100% a strategy to play a map the week before just so
You don't have to
play the next week against the team that might
has
be better.
definitely happened many times.
So right now, we know that G2 does that 100%. We know that every single team does it. But Villa and Clubhouse cannot be played in that G2 versus Navi game on Monday.
Yeah. And of course, they know Vitality are good at, but Vitality have also shown things. So they have a little bit more of an idea what they're up against from Navi. Like, they can kind of prepare. But at the same time, Vitality have new players. So they may be playing entirely differently. Hopefully, when you bring in new players, the idea is you should integrate their strengths, and that should affect how you play. You shouldn't just be like, well, you can do the job of the guy we're replacing you with.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have that mentality.
Switch the roles, something like that.
It can be a little disruptive, though, when it does end up costing you, like, having to change people to uncomfortable roles. You can make mistakes in picking up someone and it shifting someone else off. That does happen, unfortunately.
But in this case for Vitality, it doesn't seem that it was the case.
No.
Like, Goga is still in that role. Like, he's not your hard support all the time. But the problem is, at least if you look at it from my perspective, is that Goga is the guy that is always known for carrying the diffuser, yet still doing a lot of work on thermal.
Yeah.
Hungry is known for being the guy that really disrupts, is the lurker on attack, but more is the guy that's anchoring on smoke.
Especially a smoke, yeah.
On defense. However, in the game, what we're seeing is sometimes there's interchangeable roles. So Bride might take up the thermite role. Sometimes he might be the one that's taking up the smoke role off of Hungry. And we're not sure if that's by design or it's kind of like forced into it.
Well, the big change up, from what I understand, is I believe Goga is IGLing. And if that's the case, that's a pretty big change up. Because if you come into a brand new team and you have to IGL, just ask Troy. It's not easy to just slot in as a new IGL for a team. There's a lot of callouts that are going to be different. There's a lot of ways of communicating that are going to be different. There's a lot of play styles that you see from the outside but work very different from the inside that you have to adjust to. So if that is the case, Goga has a lot of work ahead of him. Even if it's working out somewhat well, there will be bumps along that road.
And that's definitely something that the coaching staff of Vitality will have to be working on. So between Liliun and Afi, of course, Afi being brought in as kind of a try-out analyst for the team, is very much required to be in support of the team, give them all the information that's needed. Now, Vitality had their victory a couple of weeks ago, well, a couple play days ago, and it was off of this sort of preparation.
Well, you really count on things like the analysts to identify the weaknesses in the enemy team for you, especially to really dive into, like, here's some things they normally do, here's some ways you can counter that, and just have that in the back of your mind, so when you're playing, it just comes out.
And there you go. Emzo has finally remembered to press the R key to start the game.
At least I didn't pinky start it.
Man, back in the day where you actually... Can we get a shout out there for Panky for having to observe and cast at the same time, which is...
Really, a lot of people don't realize he had to do that, and that was a lot of work. He's sitting there with an Xbox controller, like, controlling...
Xbox controller.
Having to start the game and run the lobby himself.
Marcio is a savior, isn't he?
Yeah, we did not have a dedicated observer back then. Nomad, the first ban here for Villa. Not the most uncommon, but not always the most common either. And again, no Capitao.
A common ban on this map, I want to say. Nomad is kind of a 50-50. It really depends. Sometimes we'll have a Thatcher ban, sometimes we'll have a Heart Breacher.
Capitao strong on this particular map? Or, well, any map.
Any map, pretty much. Anything that you need to zone and crowd control.
I'm glad he's not in the place that, like, Mira, Maestro, Echo are, though, where he's like... at first, he kind of was being banned a lot, but now they've kind of toned it down. He's only occasionally banned. So I like to see that, because I see variety in attacker bans.
So... there's your bans, is Mira and Echo being banned at the end.
So we have Vitality on defense. First, they like to play offsites. Well, they play Library. No, Aviator Games. They're going to... Oh, Dining. There we go. Changing it up. We just dove a bit into some Dining analysis of some of the defense that we saw from NA on 2 days ago. And when you really look at it, it really seemed to me the most striking thing was how strong playing from below is. On fighting bedroom, and how often the attackers really struggle fighting downwards. The vertical pressure often not working in their favor. A pulse coming out from Bride does help with that as well. Being able to identify the position in that tight little room of bedroom really pays off. You can also play a little bit in statuary as well to play down, but it is an interesting site to defend, and I think I hopefully explained pretty well why I think it's such a good bomb site, and I think we should see it more, and we have been seeing it more.
Yeah, the most hilarious part is trying to explain, like, hey, this is how the TCSG actually works.
Yeah, this is why it's so good from shooting from below, because all you have to hit is one of their tiny little toes, and like a couple shots to the toes.
Two shots at any range with the TCSG.
So unlike an attacker who could stand directly above you and maybe not see your head, you can just see any part of their body from below, directly below them, and tag it. Not to mention the amount of caliber destruction, you're going to be almost bucking from below as well.
Pretty much.
That being said, well, this could shake up a variety of different ways, but I do think if Vitality play it smart, they could potentially be at an advantage here. Because in the case what we saw in that particular match that I'm talking about, which was Dark Zero versus Tempo Storm, almost exclusively the only defensive site that was won was Dining until the very final round.
Yeah, highly recommend that you guys go ahead and watch that game after NA or in between EU and NA tonight, because you can learn quite a few things about how to really break Phila as a map, as an attack.
I do hope to see a bit more work on Library, but this is a team that has brought Library. Unfortunately, Pi also brought a bullet for Sticky's head, and that's deletion out early. A great initial pick, especially from a Habana, who doesn't always like entry frag, things like that, but if someone's going to peek you, gotta punish him.
Reminds me of the...
Oh, speaking of punished.
Okay, so this is a lost drone, and it's gonna be ran back, and he actually lost it. Yeah, it's gonna be used by the defense now. So the Mozzie quick on his camera.
One of the things I also noticed, oh, never mind.
Okay.
Later, geez, another kill here on Vitality.
Did you just notice Citizen there?
Yeah, that's not a great kill, the Mozzie being lost early. So now that drone control is gone, the one you talked about just driving around, maybe he was even driving it at the time and he was actually busy on that.
There's that SI 2020 skin on the Ash. It looks so good. I love those hexagons.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of hexagons.
Yeah. So Citizen is checking downstairs. Is there anybody inside of the art room? Hungry's going to find Pi.
Yeah, some kind of kill here. And Hungry, already improvement over his last game. I'm just giving him a little bit of a bad time, but I think Hungry, as I said, is an absolutely fantastic player.
Yeah, by the way, it seems like sometimes when you say the smallest of words, people take it in the weirdest, most negative of ways.
Just to be ultimate disclaimer, I'm never actually serious if I'm giving a player a bad time.
Yeah, only when you give them a good time.
There you go. Hatch open there as well. Does not give them any information. It was probably just an escape route, unless the attackers had opened it, but looked like the attackers were kind of a bit more spread out than we sometimes see on these attacks. Could be a laundry take here, but they lost one of their hard breachers. So if they want to open the wall, it'd be a little bit harder, but they almost with a shot there.
He's exercising a lot of caution where he opens fire. There's a flashbang, and unfortunately, it does detonate. So in this case, flashbang actually works. One more stun grenade is going to be used to push the pulse out. They're able to take down Bride, but still, it's Bibu to find one kill, to find two. Sitting inside of that Trium. Grenade bounce around the corner. Hungry, but he's going to find the headshot on saves. It turns into 1v2. Kendrew, potential for victory here, but he's going to get shot in the back. Bibu with the 3K. Just checking. I don't know. Bibu, what did he do? Did he rotate from astronomy down into
I mean, there's three sets of stairs that are all really close. You've got the pantry stairs, you've got the back stairs, and you've got red stairs, which is the farthest one. But China goes pretty directly over to back stairs as well, so there's a lot of possibilities for him to have rotated, but Astro Stairs is definitely a good one for that. You can also even drop down the hatch or rotate down the stairs to come up through pantry from there. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways you could have rotated back, and Jaeger being a 3-speed definitely works out. And that's the problem, is you cannot control basement well. It just is not doable, especially when you see other priorities like needing to open up laundry wall. Yep. That's what we saw Tempo Storm doing, but with Habana was consistently opening laundry wall and using that. And to be fair, it almost worked for Navi there. Vitality actually going to bring the clash for reals this time. Well, that'll be an intriguing one from Goga here. The Mozzie was pretty useful, but we'll see if the clash could be even more useful because, yeah, Mozzie can capture some drones to walk around with, but now you can walk around with a big old shield on your face instead. Let's see if that works any better, but they are going to go to Aviator now, the thing they started to go to the very first round, but changed their mind. I think it's likely we will eventually see them go back to Dining again, but possibly we could see Trophy or Library next. As I said, Vitality are one of the teams that does play Library.
By the way, still for everybody that's asking about this, I hope that you're listening, because we're going to keep saying it every game. after the Russian Civil War, the whites and the reds, after Forza and Team Empire, then we'll have the drawing and the reveal of the groups and the invited team for Six Invitational 2020. So when we're done, we'll remind you that you only have enough time to go to the bathroom, then run back to your computer or to your phone and check out what we have to show you.
Yeah, you want to see it live. You don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
That's right. Certainly will be an interesting one, I imagine. And for those of you unaware, we don't know the groups ahead of time because we draw them live, so it will be a nice, juicy surprise for us as well.
Yep. Everybody's going to start their work in analyzing and preparation of them over the next three or so weeks until Sixth Invitational. Citizen is pre-firing all the windows in case. Right now, it's Goga. It's acting as that moving shield. It's like the whole strategy moved from Penta's side to Vitality with the shield, right?
That's funny. I mean, Hungry being the former player from that team.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of pre-fire on windows from Citizen as well, just hoping to catch anyone. They did catch that, I think, possible spawn peak last time. So, hey, why not? Might as well pre-fire those windows, open them up a little bit. But that does also open them up for defenders to start to use them later to peek out of.
A bomb has been located.
As you know, they do work both ways.
Indeed.
A little bit of a slow approach here from Navi, but they don't want to lose any of the members early. Like last time, they did lose Pi first. They want to make sure that the jobs are done. Oh, denial. Yep. You can hear those slight zaps. You really got to listen for the sounds in this game, because they can tell you a lot about what's going on.
And this is why what you usually should be bringing is a Zofia.
Yeah.
But because we have double hard breach in the Hibana and the Thermite, you bring those up, you have some redundancy, you can open up the holes correctly. But oh no, the Legion's gonna lose the gunfight here at the top of the stairs, but Stigi from below will rotate in. Fun one from the office. Goga is gonna try to delay the attackers, just shocking. Actually, both angles gonna be able to walk back down on the site. However,
Poor tail lock the attackers. They really could have pinched him right there too.
It's been getting pinched. It's Hungry right now. Gonna rotate to play close up to the indestructible bar. Again, we talked about him being this ace of a smoke player. We'll see if he wins this gunfight. Yes, he does! Spy is now dead and down. Trying to peek against the second angle into 90. There's Goga. That'll give out the information. You're walking the drone, basically. Indestructible on the defense.
Oh, the timing.
Stigi for the pre-fire. Unfortunately, he'll lose at the gunfight, forcing Save to drop down into him. It's a 3v3, still doable for the defense, but Hungry doesn't have any smokes left. And we're at 25 seconds in the round.
Even the Clash actually ticking down the health of the attackers here.
Oh, Hungry's gonna get down thanks to the buck from below, and Saves will confirm the kill. Big plays here as Goga has the shield on his back. He can get one headshot. He turns around for the second, but he's low on ammo right now, and the SPSMG peeks up. Oh, so close, but he's so low on HP. Ken Druin saves the last two alive. Bride can win this entire round now. He downs one. He's ready for the second, but the diffuser's too far away, and Vitality win the second round on the defense. A mistake. Both players doubling up here from Navi and entering from the same location, unbeknownst to them.
That was so smart of him to just not play for that second fight.
There's no point.
I mean, he was close to just spraying both, but yeah, that was absolutely the smart play. You really hate to see it too. The Clash absolutely playing off the fact that putting a shield on his back meant he could take one fight and worry less about the man behind him and then whip around. That works out really well. You put that shield on your back, all of a sudden you've actually, in a 2v1 pinch, you're actually in a decent position. So really good shield play on the Clash from Goga that last round. That was a real difference maker to me, honestly. His play there and then Hungry following up that absolutely won them the round. I mean, great plays from other players as well, but those really made the critical difference in making sure the attackers were never really able to get enough of an advantage. I mean, a lot of their kills were just on some misplays or mistimings from Vitality's side, but they had enough people left alive to clutch that out just fine. And playing time, the Clash definitely good at that. Was very nice of the smart of the buck to go below, though, take advantage of his utility to get the kill on to Hungry, put some pressure on. Bride actually going to take over the smoke roll this time here. They're going to be playing over in Trophy Statuary. So that is going to be the third site. So maybe we won't see Library just yet.
10 seconds left before.
But Vitality are also the team that will often play all four sites of a map and rotate between them whether or not they win or lose them. So never know. Never know with this team.
Attackers are moving out.
They're going to have some denial of the wall here with the Bandit. will not also have some impacts to be able to deny it if they want to that way as well. Most likely from Hungry, depending on how they want to play. But they are actually looking to hold Aviator games as well. Try and stop any kind of push in, because the more you can delay them on this side, the steady side, the better. Because more often than not, you are going to push from this side. You should also push from the master bedroom at the same time as well. But so far, it doesn't look like Navi is going for a two-sided push just yet. They really want to clear these people out. Gun vault being the big problem here, but also the 90-degree angle. It looks like 3 defenders between these 2 rooms. Now 2. One of them swings out too wide.
Oh.
So 2 for his trouble. And only loses half his health. Very worth it.
This is completely worth it. You eliminated pretty much the 2 gunners as operators on that defensive team here. Vitality, Bibu being one of those players. There's the Buck trying to do work and destroy as much as that wall as humanly possible. But Navi can just play games around Hungry right now. Basically, yes. Play games around games. They already destroyed the default KMN90. They can pressure Hungry, but he is behind the indestructible bar.
They do have flashbangs and grenades, though, so they have utility to deal with them. They're going to just make sure that there's no utility around that corner. He has to deal with peeking that.
Citizen's going to keep on pre-firing through that wall. It's wasting a lot of time, but in the meantime, Pi has still found Steegi. The site is basically open right now, and you can go for that plant. And that's indeed what Pi is going to go for, at least in assaulting the site. They can pinch into it and clear every day, and that's what they've done. Hungry, you poor man. He's all on his own and close to flawless here from attacking side of Navi. Grenade into Hungry. No damage will be taken as it landed right in the middle of the bar, but it'll find saves. Pre-firing through every one of those. So, walls. There's the drone finally taken away, but is it really going to matter?
You can't really use Vault either. There's a soft wall and there's none reinforced.
It's bulletproof camera that was with him, and he, well, is going to find Citizen. Adding some stats right now, going for the retake. 3 players in, little time left. He's gonna find one more kill. That's Kendrew now down. The ace is what Hungry needs, and he's got 20 or so seconds to deal with it. There's one Goo-mine in support. Tries to fire, he'll find Nello. He's gonna try to stick the diffuser. There is a Goo-mine to protect him, and if he can stick this one, this might be a victory. Oh, the Goo-mine's gonna slow down Pi, but the pre-fires are on the corner, and Hungry unable to continue that retaliation. So close to it, but there's only one way.
Win or lost that round, that was an amazing performance from Hungry. He was in bar. He was one of the first to be attacked almost. The third, but only because the other 2 pushed a little more aggressively. But they knew where he was the whole round. Not only did he survive, he killed almost everyone and just barely didn't defuse in time. That was very, very impressive from Hungry, who is more than making up for last time. He's got to be top fragger right now for Vitality. Like, just absolutely doing work. Go with the Mozzie again this time. Not the Clash. Brede, the one to actually tease that and bring out the Pulse yet again for dining here. So they're going to go with Double Heart Breacher, which is was pretty useful last time because Pi died on that Habana too early to be able to help open up Laundry Wall. So having the backup Thermite definitely made a difference. There's going to be Mute Jammers to deal with from Hungry. So they'll likely have one on that Laundry Wall. But with the Thatcher in play, unless Kendrew dies early, it is likely that that Mute Jammer will get removed at some point. You'd see him thinking about putting it down, but for whatever reason he wanted to get some other Mute Jammers up. Probably wanted to get some on the doorways to deny entry first and save that one for later, because you don't really need to place that one down early. Looks like might even be placing one to deny from the doorway of Laundry. Goga looking to be on the roam, setting up some pests. You saw one right there on 90 window. So if anyone throws a drone through that window, instantly snatched up by the pest. And it is very, very likely people will throw a drone through that window. That's a very common window to throw drones through because you don't want to enter 90 without some kind of intel. And you're not always going to make a drone all the way up to that corner yourself without losing it. So good pest position.
So Citizen's going to walk on up. Bless you, buddy.
I am blessed to be here.
Of course. With me alongside you, you're always blessed.
Angels.
Hashtag blessed. So, Citizen has saves and support. We're going to watch the landing here at the top of Red Stairs. Is there anybody? Well, at the top of the back stairs. Red Stairs, is there anybody through there? No? Nobody's knocking? And it's odd to see this, that bedroom isn't the first position you go for, but I'm actually completely for it.
Yeah.
A lot of times going directly into bedroom, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks.
We saw it work out. Your feet get lit up.
Yeah, so what do? You come in from the opposite end of the map. It takes you a bit more time, but at least you're safe when entering. A lot of bullet holes here, tap holes that have been opened up by the defense of Vitality. As Save's going to try to pre-fire. Spotted one player for just a second, had the drone to support him, but he's going to need to calm down for just a second as Astronomy has been let go by Vitality.
And that's one of the things that I noticed as well in that Tempo Storm and Dark Zero game is Astronomy was falling off of very quickly as soon as the rappel started.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to over contest it and get pinched from two sides, but Save's the first to go down here. That's the Buck. We've seen a lot of work from the Bucks so far. So losing him early definitely going to hurt things, especially when you want to play top down. Now you don't have anything to open the floor except for Ash's charges there, and I guess X-Kairos if you want.
I wonder if all of this was just done thanks to Goga's holding of the drone, basically.
Yeah.
He picked up one drone with a pest and then kept on rolling in. So I guess...
You also have the extra intel from the Pulse.
I guess both operators, indeed. They do make a lot of sense here.
Basement roam from Goga as well.
Nitrocell being prepped by Bride. You need to make sure it doesn't catch one of those.
Yeah, you see him lining it up very carefully. One C4 goes out first, second to follow it up because you don't expect that one, but none of them hit their mark.
Bride now looking around the corner, and that's 2 Nitrocells, as you just said. Expended with no return. Pi will walk on site and find Stiggy, and he does have the Ash behind him of Citizen. In support, oh no, the red stairs, it's Goga though. He'll keep on firing through with the commando, but doesn't catch anybody. Left at the end.
See you on the other side.
There's one player down.
15 seconds remaining.
Navi, 3v4 in this. 10 seconds left. Kendra's going to be able to find one, but Vitality have already found 2 of their own. It's the Bride on the floor, and he gets Kendra as he walks from kitchen. Vitality successful, just keeping bodies up and running the entirety of the round.
I gotta say, Vitality looking very good on defense. Even the one round that they lost, they almost won. Goga just maybe, or not Goga, but Hungry just maybe like a half a second off of finishing that diffuser. So, Aviator Games, I guess we will not see that library defense, unfortunately. Maybe we will from Navi's side, you never know. But so far, all of the sites, with the exception of Trophy, have been successfully defended. So only if they win this will they have to go back to Trophy. If they lose this, of course they can go here again. Valkyrie being brought out last minute by Goga. Now, we did see some pretty good use of the Clash before, so that could have been a consideration, especially with the Capital being banned.
Defenders protect
It is
your
more of a
bombs from
Zofia
being
counter,
used
and
by
Navi
attackers.
have just not been bringing Zofia, so it still might have been a good idea to bring that Clash, or maybe you don't want to overplay it. They want the extra intel, and they're certainly going to get it. Goga's been good with intel, whether it be the Mozzie, denying intel and sometimes capturing drones, which we've seen him capture at least one, or in this case, now bringing the Black Eyes. They are opening up the floor quite a bit. You see Hungry doing that to make sure they have a hard time getting that wall open by placing thermite breach charges on the floor. You need to make sure to do that. It reminds me of the old days when we used to see Oregon school wall getting shot up so people couldn't place it on the wall there of classroom to blow the hatch. Gotta love that counterplay with the shotgun. And that's destructibility, still the #1 thing that makes this game just
Attackers are moving
so
out to
variable.
locate a bomb and defuse it.
So, once again, an attack through study. Seems to be like, you know, we used to talk about, well, we still talk about how many approaches involve going through bedroom. So few of Navi's do. They really don't seem to want to pressure bedroom, even in pinch situations. They really want to go very heavily through study, as it doesn't seem anyone contest study from below the way they do from below in the dining room up to bedroom. So they're definitely taking advantage of that fact, I suppose. See, one soft wall into statuary there. Buck could use. Unless it was just, you know, not very easily visible in the bolts, but it did look soft.
A bomb has been located.
Go check that out, I guess, at some point here. But Citizen's going to pressure 90, and he has Pi in support. Also one player behind him. Not sure exactly it was, but assume it saves. Looks like it. Oh, he's going to get shot from the drone hole. Watch out for this one. A lot of sneaky bandits like to do that sort of play, and that's Bride in this case. Oh no! Bibu walks through 2 players and is also able to impact the Habana X-Kairos.
Located a bomb.
Huge play here, but you do lose one position.
Yeah. One set went off to give an angle right on into games. That's a pretty nice angle from the window as well, where he's relatively safe.
Also, it looked like the Bandit was able to put his battery back on the vault wall. So
that's good.
In the end, you weren't gonna able to open that wall into vault regardless, but now you lose a pretty important position. You can't just stay too safe inside of the site in games room, and there's Stigi. Find Kendra on the flank, rotating around. That's something you don't expect. With no drones, no claymores to watch your back, and nitro cells are raining hell. Navi seem lost and dazed and confused.
Something that's been missing from both the matches so far that we've seen today is just no flank control operators, no roam control operators. Roamers just being kind of allowed to do whatever they want. I mean, not even a Jackal on this map. Bibu finding Pi as well, down to just the Buck and Thermite against 5.
Oh my god, close to a flawless round. Yeah, there we go. Vitality flawless. What is with Vitality, man? One day, they're playing like they've never touched this game before, and the next, they're smashing teams. Aside, they're beating Navi. I mean, yes, still, we are playing on the defense on Villa, right?
Yeah.
But it's so one-sided.
Maybe this is why we don't see Navi playing Villa. Maybe they're just not great at it.
That is a good point.
I mean, they are playing a little bit different, as I said, from other teams where they tend to not really put a lot of pressure on Bedroom. But at the same time, you know, we give some good reasons why. Trophy, will they finally make it work this time? If not, that's okay. They're still 4-2 at that situation. But for right now, they have a chance of going 5-1 into the half. And it's interesting with Villa because, you know, originally Villa was very defender-sided. Then it shifted to actually being a little more attacker-sided, it seemed like at times. And maybe it's just kind of swinging back and forth on the pendulum. See one round there, one on time for Vitality, because they dodged back into the gun vault. A lot of reinforcements going up here. Just to make sure, deny a lot of angles, deny a lot of entry. Those 3 walls there from the master bedroom, pretty much mandatory. Cannot let them easily into statuary. The double walls on astronomy, not always necessary though. They could have gone just one and saved more for overall on the study side if they needed extra. But they seem to be, you know, fine with the setup they're doing. Hear a black eye go up from Goga to be able to watch down 90. Or down classical hallway towards 90, more specifically.
The ESLR6 Twitter just posted something that I find extremely hilarious. Go ahead and check it out. It's an Intero Comrade meme.
I knew that them doing the guns thing was going to turn into something. I honestly, I love our social media guy.
Honestly.
He's like during the matches, stuff's just coming out.
Boss, if you're hearing this, can we just get him a raise?
Can we please? Because he's doing work for whatever he's getting paid.
Yeah. Maybe we should give him a bit more.
Oh, speaking of doing work, Goga with the camera possibly seeing him even from the position he had it. Not entirely sure, but the C4 certainly hit its mark.
That's pretty huge there. And ECC saves his checking for camera.
Where was the camera? He had the intel. He could have done that blind. You wish you had an IQ right about now.
Right about now. Yeah, okay.
There it is again.
It's every time, man.
It's always about now.
Keeps playing in my head.
A bomb has been located.
So, Nell's going to keep on droning, and it looks like Navi's strategy of cornering Vitality isn't going to work this time around. This response is very, I guess, brash and drastic, right, with a Nitro cell. Nell's going to walk on into Aviator, and he's going to keep on droning that saves as well, verifying his opponent's positions. There's smoke around the corner. You don't want to enable Hungry again as you did before. Saves might be prepping frag grenade here to go around the corner. There is, of course, the Jaeger on the defense, so you got to watch out for anything to catch your grenades. That should be enough to destroy the bulletproof camera. Not sure. It was a bit of an off angle.
Yeah, they've been bringing bulletproof cameras now and then. Saw one on the previous round as well.
It's a great tool. There's a grenade, and it'll land right next to the diffuser here on B, but there's nobody there, as Bride is going to snake his way back into the same position, and Hungry is going to sneak all the way behind them. Is there a flank drone to watch this? That's the big question, and there are the Valkyrie cams. One of them is going to be watching into 90, but Kendra will waste no time and go for the diffuser plant. Smoke will be thrown in, but it doesn't matter. Diffuser is going to be set. Stigi, though, firing onto one, but Navi will find 2, and saves, turning around to slap Hungry down. 2 left here for Vitality. Powerful operators in the Valkyrie and the Maestro, but they're limited on utility. They're going to be fighting an uphill battle. There's nobody around there. Might be sticking it. The Maestro on his own. Oh, there's 1 kill. Too close to it for Goga. Pulls out the Deagle, and he's going to find it. That's Pike down. Seeking for the last. Vitality recover, and there it is. 2-0 now. Oh, no. Vitality, the recovery out of nowhere. The flank from the Valk. That was a play and a half.
And I was a little concerned about that because they were not able to deny the defuse being planted because they were too far away, especially with the Valkyrie downstairs. But that just offered him the opportunity to come up at the right time at the right place and just get 2 almost for free, just completely catching them by surprise, almost stacked up on each other. And they finally win the site that they almost lost the second time. That's the only site they've really been able to get the plant down on as well, but now they switch sides. Trophy Statuary going to be the primary, interestingly enough, from Navi. They did have the best attack on that, so I can understand why they might like Trophy. They're going to bring a Goyo, unless they 6-pick off it. Nope, the 6-pick off of Maestro instead. We're going to see a 6-pick as well from the Jackal, which, I don't know, might be worth keeping, to having a second soft breacher here with the Sledge, rather than double hard breachers. So, how will this go down in terms of whether or not this was a good choice as a primary site? We also will see those shields factor in. You see one going down next to the bathtub and Master Bath. That allows them, if someone's playing Astronomy or the Astronomy stairs, to be able to help deny the push on in through the bathroom that could come in through the window, for example, or from opening up the wall that leads in. But they don't have a thermite, so it's very unlikely they would use any X-Kairos outside of maybe 1 to open up the wall into bathroom from the Master Walk-in closet. More than likely, they will save those to be able to try and open up any angles or maybe even a crouch or walk hole through the triple wall leading into Statuary. So that, more so the window, the thing to be concerned about in the Master Bathroom. Pi likely to be playing a bit of a roam roll. He's actually bringing a deployable shield as well. Rarely see that come out from an Ella player. But it does happen then. But that's the common thing, as I've pointed out quite a few times before, is when Goyo gets brought out, it seems to bring out the shield in everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few operators that can run shield on attack, but not in that way. That's for sure.
Well, unfortunately, Castle Barricades are easy work for that 6th-picked to Sledge that they didn't see coming. Maybe they anticipated the castle, or saw the castle and anticipated it not being 6th-picked off of. Decided they wanted to have that Sledge, so they didn't have to waste any of Zophia's lifelines or Stiggy's grenades on those Castle Barricades. That seems like a smart choice. Hopefully they can find enough soft walls to take advantage. Oh, he just barely might have seen his shoulder.
No, he's on the other side.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to verify that because he actually blends in with the wall a little bit too, potentially.
It's that blue color.
Yeah.
So the outline, of course. Bibu's gonna start in the droning phase zone. There's a bulletproof camera in the center. It's gonna get destroyed there. One that's gonna get spotted pretty easily.
Located by attackers.
We'll set a flank drone later on for players coming in through red. And actually, the castle's not shooting the drone on purpose.
A bomb has been located.
It's going to still be up. The reason why Nello's not firing at the drone is because it did not spot him. And because it didn't spot him, there's no need for him to destroy it because he's still tricking the attackers. But if he destroys it, obviously his position is going to be revealed, and that's not what you want. EMP is going to get thrown in here to allow one of those drones to come on in, and there it goes. The trickery works. Nello finds Bibu. He might have thought he droned it all, but nope, not the singular angle.
And that's always the one that bites you, right? The one small spot you didn't check is the one they're hiding in. Sometimes you almost need to play off of sound on that drone as well, but Nello does find another one.
Man's on fire. Grenade's going to get cooked around the corner, and it forces the castle out, but Nello collects a third one. Ride and Goga are the last 2 alive. A good combination between the Thatcher and the Habana, but will it do anything in this round?
Thatcher just trying to help open things up here, but it seems like they're really scrambling to get different positions to approach from because their approach that they were taking upstairs, the Master is just not working. So now 2 players rotating around downstairs, the last 2 left alive, Habana and Thatcher. Goga looking for an opportunity, but he did not shoot the default cam. It is still up.
It went blue. There you go. They know where you're coming from.
I don't think he even saw it at first. He is not in a great position now. They can open up the floor on him, especially if they have some shotguns to work with. Could be the FO12 on Ella as well. Not a great position. Crossfire here for Brede. He goes down.
You're not going to make it out of this one. There's one alive.
Seconds
Here
remaining.
we go. Yes. Goga's far away. Yeah.
Give me ace. No. Nello needs
What kill?
ace. No ace.
Operators,
Ace
you are out of
denied.
time.
It's all to the 9, Nello. Unfortunate there, but still. The 4K for Nello just because he didn't shoot the drone. Man, that is just the level of patience that Nello exercised in that round, sticking to his
Yeah.
position.
Also, great timing jumping out with the grenade. Like, had he jumped out slightly later, probably would have got shot.
It was definitely not cooked correctly by the sledge in that location.
Nice,
Regardless,
chef.
Nello played it perfectly.
You'd think someone named Hungry would be better at cooking.
Well, actually,
Maybe that's why he's hungry.
I read this. A lot of professional chefs, their favorite food and the usual food that they eat every day is not something that they cook themselves
Attackers
or
need to
somebody
locate
cooks
and
food.
defuse
They just
bombs.
buy it from somewhere else or from a fast food place because you kind of get exhausted just thinking about food the whole time, and all you want to do is just have some sustenance.
Yeah.
It's like somebody that plays so many hours of the game of Siege or any game really, watches a lot of it, analyzes a lot of it. At some point, to not burn yourself out, you end up doing something else to relax. But
I don't know.
Something
if I
else.
ever do anything else. Yeah, the Nook. Sneaky, sneaky. There is Maestro cams up. There is Valkyrie cams up. And there may even be drones
10 seconds
captured.
left.
So having some invisibility to all of those, especially with no Legion in play,
5 seconds
definitely
left.
benefit you quite a bit here. There will be
Bomb located
likely
by
some
attackers.
barbed wire from the Jaeger. You hear it going down right there. So you do have to worry about the barbed wire, but that's pretty visible. Doesn't look like it's easy to get around right there on that hallway corner, but still.
also, you can kind of skirt around the barbed wire if you're really, really slow.
Yeah, almost better to just destroy it and hope they weren't watching right then, though.
Pretty much.
Now, he does not take out the camera. And that's one of the things you want to do sometimes is make him think that you're not there by being invisible and not shooting the camera. So that's the patience right there from Stiggy. It does no good to be invisible to cameras if you just shoot them all out. Although it does make your teammates invisible to those cameras as they are no longer in existence.
It lulls the defenders into a false sense.
Lullabies. Fortunately, that default cam's going to see him doing that if it looks, though. Once he starts shooting as well, that will likely give away that he is in play if they recognize the sound.
Camera's already down, so Stiggy shot it there as he retreated. Nook should have been spotted regardless.
Tossing EMP grenade!
There's a lot of plays here from Navi to bounce on top of Vitality, as they're the ones to destroy the barricade leading outside by the laundry. Great is going to throw in an EMP here, destroying any utility that's been preset. Goga continuing into drone. You know that there should be somebody inside of the living room, and indeed, this one behind all these open holes signify one thing. There's someone here, and we need to find them. The Jaeger is spotted, so this might actually trick Vitality into thinking that this is the player to deal with. But Hungry is going to find Pi regardless. There's the Maestro. Stiggy in, and he has his utility up and running. Nook's going to recharge, and of course, unlike Warden, you're going to need to wait. You don't need to wait until the entire charge is back up. People watching for any plays from the red stairs. There's a drone that was picked up by the defenders. Of course, we talked about that big combination of the Mutant Mozzie. Genuinely the most frustrating thing to play against, as a lot of pro players will tell you.
Yeah. It does require 2 operators dedicating all their utility, though, so it is something that is earned. But yeah, definitely frustrating. Today, needing to catch. Yeah, set it up as a flank drone there, potentially. Not necessarily going to push that just yet. Really need to see some work from Stiggy on that Nook, though. As the round goes on, might not get value out of it, but he is going to try and sneak up now. Droning ahead of him as well. You want to make sure he doesn't go in blind, because just because you're invisible doesn't mean other people can't see you with their own eyes. He's going to try and sneak it now. Here's the time.
He's around the corner, and he's going to get the Jaeger. He's still on site, keeps on firing, and he gets 2. Stiggy might have died, but he's done all the work necessary, and saves. Gets shot from the side as Bride enters from Laundry. Vitality, very well played, and the Nook saved until the last second. A lot of people see Nook, and all they think is just a rush, is just playing the flank. But a lot of times, it is about timing. Timing really is everything in Siege.
You could say the same thing about Amaru. A lot of people think rush.
Exactly.
You can also take advantage of, hey, there's a window that's been sealed the whole round. No one's going to expect me jumping into it while they're fighting the rest of my teammates right now. But either way, that puts Vitality in the guaranteed 1-point position here. Not great for Navi, who were top last season. Now they might have a little more trouble keeping that, especially with Empire doing as well as they are. See them go now to their third site. Aviator, they don't want to repeat dining. Stiggy gonna finally bring out that IQ. Definitely some good Nook play though.
Attackers need to locate and
Very
defuse
impressive
the
from
bomb.
Stiggy. It's a bit of a pocket strat to say the least though. I don't expect we'll see that a lot, but at the same time, the success of that might give him confidence to try it again in a future match. And you like to see it with so many cameras available to defenders. Turning the cameras against them, always fun, especially if you also include a Dokkaebi. That makes it even more fun, right? Because then you got, think about it this way. Not only do you have control of the cameras, so you can see through them as well, now you have incentive not shoot out the cameras and give Nook the ability to be invisible to them. So that is a fun combo as well we haven't seen yet.
5 seconds remaining.
So Aviator Games gonna be
Attackers
a
must
tricky one.
locate
There
and
is
defuse
only
the
one hard
bomb.
breacher to open up some of those walls, so we can see it. There's quite a few different hard walls you can consider. There's the one from Study into Aviator, one from Study into Games, one from Classical Hallway 90 into Gun Vault, as we saw some pressure. And we even saw an angle as well, trying to go from the 90 window, giving an angle into Games through the wall in Classical. So a lot of different ways to play with those X-Kairos. Kendrew, though, already getting played with as he takes nearly half his health and damage, forced to run off, starting a little bit of pre-fire through some of those soft walls, just in case. You can at least scare them away from as he makes a hasty retreat. Stiggy definitely looking for some things to deal with here. He does spot a goo mine, takes it out. He's got the gadgetry to spot whatever they might put in his path. He's going to be definitely looking for those, especially those cameras. Really got to take out those cameras coming out. As we saw Goga putting quite a few good ones they used to get a C4 kill. Kendrew obviously wanted to do some work with as well.
Don't want to get zapped by the evil eye.
No, you don't want to lose a drone to that. You can, I suppose, use that to bait it to opening up, but better to use the Thatcher to do that.
So keep on droning here is the play from Vitality. Might lose the drone there as he's set right under the evil eye. Goga rotating to, I guess, the opposite end of the map. I think he wants to go and give some pressure into 90, but the rest of Vitality are just pushing all together. This leaves them very vulnerable to Nitro cells, and you're going to have to be really careful about that. You've seen the amount of work a Nitro can do well placed, especially on 90. This all very much lures Vitality into a false sense of security, but the vault has been opened up. That's pretty big right now. You can cut off your rotations through there.
Well, things definitely slowed down. It's 2 minutes in, and they're still droning, still yet to really find an engagement other than Hungry and Kendrew, both taking him out 50 HP in damage. Stiggy, though, so close to sight, just clears out the barbed wire. Smart doesn't want to get flanked here. He's worried about red stairs. I like his little drone hiding in the bushes, making sure red stairs isn't a problem. But that's the thing is, there's no one dead to be watching, and he's got to call for someone to watch that for him, or just keep continuing to check it. Really, though, at this point, Stiggy's just about being in position for the play, rather than trying to play make himself. He's going to clear up more gadgets though in the meantime.
Let's remove any sort of devices that have been put down. There's Nitro Cell, we just talked about it. Kendrew on to Hungry. He'll take down the sledge. I wonder if Hungry was able to use his grenades regardless, but there's one player on top of that indestructible bar, and Navi will get 2 kills, make that 3, and finish off the entirety of Vitality as it's flawless from Navi.
Well, Vitality still sitting on that match point, but Navi looking like they could put up a fight here. That being said, 6-3 is not a great position to be in, especially with the way Vitality have been playing. This is going to be a difficult comeback if they can make it happen. Trophy, one of their successful sites, they will try again. Dining, so far, their only unsuccessful one, despite that being a good site. They're going to try mixing things up a little bit with a Vigil possibly here, although he could be using that 6th pick over to the Ella again. Goyo again coming out for Kendrew. So he found some good use for that last time. Just having some of those positions to deny a little bit. There you get his pie with the 6th pick. Hungry actually going to bring out Monty. You saw some good clash play from Goga earlier, and a different shield coming out from a different player now on Vitality. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. You got to worry about a lot of counter utility, and they are not at least bringing a Legion. However, he will still possibly walk into some Grismont mines, but he's also going to deal with likely 4 shields. Now, Monty can be stopped by shields because they become choke points. Not only that, but if he stands up near them, they also become exploding choke points, and that is something he has to worry about. They also have a C4 in Goyo's hands, so he's quite the counter to Monty at the moment in some respects. But they calculated into that because they saw the Goyo as a pick. They know what they're getting into. He's just got to make sure that the Ashe and the Zofia are able to clear those shields for him so he doesn't have to try and vault them.
5 seconds to go.
So, how does this get set up so far? We've seen one Volcan that has already been used. There's still
Attackers have
2
dropped
more
the
for
bomb
the Goyo.
diffuser. Attackers have recovered
Gonna put
the
one in
diffuser.
the bathroom, I guess. That's your usual strat.
Deploying explosive ordnance.
Put one in astronomy as well, and another close to the bomb and statuary, I guess. Or you can put it up in right by the doorway where it's default plant coming in from bedroom to statuary. It's
Yeah,
a pretty
that's,
good position.
that's a good one. You can put all the way up to the doorway or kind of halfway in that sort of connector.
Drones active.
The entryway, I guess. It works really good in there because it basically boxes that whole room becomes fire. So
So, Hungry is your shield in here. He's going to walk on through and basically push anybody away, but that's not even the strategy that Navi are employing. A reminder that Vitality are 1 round victory away from taking this map and this game to make it a 7-3 if they finish it right here. But that's the big question. Last time when they tried to push into the site, they faced a castle that... There we go. Now they actually check the corner to make sure that there's no castle in there.
Oh, bulletproof.
Elbow check it to make sure that there's nobody there.
unfortunately, you can't even throw a smoke to cover for him right there. He might just have to go up and melee. Oh, there we go. It's going to get cleared by the Thatcher potentially. There we go.
I don't know if it needed that much utility, but
No, it did not. But hey, why not? I guess.
fair enough.
They still need to deal with the shields, though, so they really shouldn't be wasting those. But at least they have the Ashe as a secondary long-range soft breach for the. You see?
Pop it.
Just pop it now. He's waiting for, making sure the Monty's going to protect him from pushback. There we go. That's smart to wait just in case. And then he'll actually use it to cut off their rotation from bedroom. So that's smart. There we go. There's the cutoff.
Steegy, though, will find Kendra. Where is Steegy?
Okay.
Hello? Where did the Ashe go? Downstairs, and there's one more player right around the corner. He gets him as well, but Citizen is able to take down Hungry. The shield is lost somehow, but the Ashe has taken 2 important operators. Their Nitro cell off with the roam game is dead pretty much now for Navi, unless they decide to drop down and make a lot of noise. Goga now pressing into the bedroom. That's not the play. Apparently, it doesn't flash him, as is... He borrowed those glasses off of the Warden, I guess, for just a second. Steegy's going to walk into the site and check. They don't have the safety of having that Monty, but Bride will plant. Vitality are looking to take the round here. Nitro Celdo will be thrown. It takes down Steegy, but it's a 3v3. Close to finding the headshot there, but Pi with the FO12 takes down Bride. They're trying to long arm it. He's actually going to try to do this one here. They're covering over every single angle. They'll take down one, and the second one, Citizen, winning out the round for Navi,
Defenders win.
as they'll be able to protect the diffuser. Losing the Monty there was pretty much the biggest deal, but losing your flank, even worse.
Yeah, what a clutch up. They really looked like that was going to be going Vitality's way, especially after Stiggy's 2K that he got. Really just making it hard for Navi to play back. But like you said, taking down the Monty as the first pick, that is an ideal first pick. Because even if Monty's not pressuring you late round, it's the early round where he's able to have someone playing behind him to drone basically for free and have someone just being able to peek out from behind that shield for kills. That's not something you want to deal with. He's able to clear roamers a lot more effectively, push them into corners. Oh, it teased Goyo this time for dining room. So, now this was Navi's weakness, dining room. And they still stood on that match point. They don't have a guaranteed 1 point. This is going to be risky. They're switching out hard breachers as well, the Hibana for the Thermite.
Attackers need
Will
to
that
locate
be the
and
play?
defuse as many bombs as they
Now
can.
before, the play seemed to be going with double hard breachers on the site in case you lose one. Then you have the option to open those walls. And the Mutant Mozzie combo, along with the Valkyrie, I think is a great setup on this particular bomb site because you get intel yourself, but you deny them a ton of intel. And we've seen some great work from Black Eyes just this whole match, providing a lot of intel, a lot of roam flexibility to a lot of the defenders to be able to play around it, as well as even some C4 kills. So we'll see also possibly some players playing
10
above.
seconds
You've
remaining.
got a mute jammer there where Pi's placing it just in the entryway to master bedroom.
5 seconds to go.
So usually they get dedicated a bit more to downstairs, but really that says to me they want to play upstairs a little more aggressively. They don't want to give it up too quickly, but the hatch being open there in Astronomy does give them an escape route, as do Astronomy stairs, but the hatch is a faster way down. So they do want to play pretty aggressively up here. The castle barricade also set up upstairs as well as down to assist with that hold upstairs. And this is also one of the bomb sites that I think leads to the most wooden barricades being put up to really control a lot of the area for your split defense. Stiggy already in though, being droned into living room. See if he can find two like he did last time.
I mean, the fact that he was able to knife one and kill the other.
Always feels good as a
Yeah.
3-speed. Just run in there and be like, slice.
Shank. That drone is in a defender operated one, right?
Stay clear.
They don't know that he's here. He dodged it right at the last second. They can dive against him, but he's going to be watching. Oh, no, he's spotted. He's going to have to fall back for just a second. They know where he's at.
One of the things about that wall as well, you saw the top of it was opened into dining. That is something you can play to and against from statuary.
So right now, all the Ash has to do is just sit there and watch for rotations.
Sorry,
It's going to be your front punch.
Yeah, these drones really critical, and the Mute Mozzie combo is denying a lot of them, but the fact that they're able to get them up close right there is really going to benefit Stiggy.
Odd that the Valkyrie has no more rounds left in the deagle. Not something you see every day. I guess a lot of them were used to open up holes. Hungry, taking a lot of fire, but it's going to be able to fall back. It has 2 grenades to lob over and really into the set. It's a bit of damage. Nope, just some bullets from the SMG-11 into him. There's a grenade, and it does hit Pi, but doesn't do much in the way of HP loss. Bibu clearing it out the... Oh, he doesn't even destroy that default camera downstairs, just to trick
So many
opponents.
camera mind games. He destroys that one though, at least.
So, Bibu. He's
Bibby.
going to turn around the corner here. Should set up his
located by
claymore
attackers.
before he starts opening up the barricade and maybe setting up to stun players inside of the kitchen. But in the pantry he goes, and the nitro flows right above his head. It sails. It's a bit too calm there on the seas.
Oh, you see that pest almost captured Stiggy's drone as well. He'd even thrown a drone up on top of the clock. Oh, nearly gets a shot off of there as well. But this is just mind games after mind games, and Hungry winning those with grenades right now.
Finally, Pi has been eliminated, and Stiggy is checking red. They're trying to push out any defender that's sitting downstairs in the wine cellar, and it should be one right now.
15 seconds left.
Stiggy's going to walk on in. Is there anybody watching for him? No, the Mozzie is looking the other way, but he's now low on HP. He's being pressured by 2 people, but there's a drop from behind.
5
One
seconds
more finisher here for Vitality as the Citizen, the last man alive. Diffuser will be set in Vitality. Follow up with the last kill from Vide. That's it. Vitality finally are able to find the victory on Vela. And it's all up to that defense that just...
Well,
it caused so many problems. But
tell you
Navi...
I think Navi might want to look at how other teams are succeeding on dining, because Vitality succeeded on both their dining defenses, but that was the big weakness, the Achilles heel for Navi, as they lost it both times. Honestly, that was almost a little bit of a surprise, because you saw how long it took them. They're just surrounded site and just... they wanted to go in, Stiggy wanted to go in, but Stiggy's patience, I think, was something to highlight from that match. His timing, his focus on making sure he was doing what he needed to be doing for his team at the right time really paid off, as well as game sense. Game sense and droning. And you know, as an Ash player, sometimes you think there's that run and gun, but it's run and gun and stop. And run and gun and stop. And he was really showing that, and I think that paid off for his team. You saw that push there. He did eventually get traded, but that really helped Goga get the plant down.
He needed the opener. He was the one that's the spearhead on the site. And the fact that they're able to stay back and leave the Ash alive for that longest part of the
Sitting
round.
right outside site, pretty much.
There was nothing that you can do from the top floor. Unfortunately, that's what you'd expect, because there's no pressure on the bedroom. This is where the fight would be happening usually. Unfortunately for Navi, they didn't really have a response from the top floor.
Now I feel like an idiot for not picking Vitality as my choice, just because the rule I said last time when I picked their opponent was they've won every other match. Like they have these off days and on days, off days, on days, and I forgot today's their on day. Stupid me. They remembered, thankfully for them. So good on them.
Don't worry, Devin. I'll always believe in you.
That's good.
Basically, our rule when it comes to who to predict to win what game outside of Latin America, which is the coin flip, you look at what Verdi has predicted and you predict the exact opposite.
With the exception of BDS last play day.
It happens.
We knew, right, Bernie? he had one idea.
We have our interview. Bibu, bonne soirée. How are you doing?
I'm good. Pretty happy with the victory again.
I know you've been hard on yourself and the entirety of the team really for the past couple weeks. Each victory is really going to drive you forward, but how do you feel that this match has really put you together, as a team? Because it seemed like communication was the problem, it took you a bit of time, but things have been solved, and Villa is that very complicated map to play.
It's not like I heard that rumors about like communication problem, but it was not that. Like I said before, Hungary and Goga is on the newcomers and they are speaking good English, so it's not the problem. The problem was more like we were not playing our game, playing like stressful and not being like in the good mindset, being like not positive as we should be. And so we work on that. We just say, guys, we can't be like this every Monday, because I think it's every Monday that we're like this. I don't know why. And also when it's Kickstarter and Inter casting us, because for the moment when you cast us, it's like we won 2 matches. So please cast us every time.
Look,
okay, Miloš, please.
if you just want to say that you don't want to talk to Intero, fair enough. I mean, you're not the only one that believes in that. I think all of us here would agree on it, including the production team.
No, I like Intero. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but just liking someone doesn't mean that you want to talk to them, right? So I get it. I get it, man. Like, it's fine. He's my neighbor still. That said, again, the game was very one-sided when you guys were on the defense. That's something expected on Villa. You didn't really play much into the Goyo strategies that Navi were playing and have been trialing for the past 2 weeks. Is there a reason why you didn't employ the operator on this map?
To be honest, we were not very. We were expecting them a little bit to pick Villa, but it's not one of their main map. And they ban club. It's like which one of the best map previous in the past. So we are most to play. We are most able to play Clubhouse, but they pick Villa, and it's always a good map for us. We're still a good team on it, be more free, like it's a map where you can roam a lot, try to do new things like Stiggy do the knock things, and it worked. So yeah, we just play our game on this map. We have some information sometimes, but like not a good hard analysis on their map, because there is no a lot of VODs.
Yeah, there's no data on this map specifically.
So we just play our game, say okay, sometimes we can try some things like some details, some trick for counter them, but not like a heavy counter strat. And I think it worked because we just play our game. We were like more free. In defense, it's just we 5-1. We could be better, but it was like some messy on 1 or 2 rounds. But yeah, pretty happy with the performance of the team.
Yeah, there was one round with the Monty, and then one round where 3 of you, I think, got slapped in 90 by the castle because you just missed him with the drone. For us watching it, we're like, oh no, he literally just passed him. But it happens. At the end, you're able to get the W7-4 victory on Villa. Bibu, anything you'd like to say to all the fans out there?
Thanks for the support. It was hard for the team because like I tweet, like I share my emotion, but the team was like not the same, but it's hard for the team to play like this, getting 7-1, 7-2, it's always hard score, and it's for the mentalities and the mindset is hard. But we keep it up. Our coaching staff made a really great job, and our analysts too. Fee make a really good job too. So thanks to them, thanks to all the support we had on the Twitter and on the message, on the chat. Like, thanks a lot, and we will try to be better next Monday, guys, and try to have a win on the Monday next time.
Yeah, well, on Monday you're playing against Rogue, so we'll see how that works. Usually it's the French derby. Right now, Vitality is kind of a bit of a mix. Same goes for Rogue, no longer really French as it was back in the day. That's going to be a very interesting match to watch, but again, that is for Monday. Congratulations on your victory, Bibu, and we'll see you in a few days.
Thank you. See you. Bonne nuit.